Yeah, I'll tell you this much. This one's going to hurt the stats for him and there in that bot lane. Definitely struggling to come online as much as he has in these past games. What I want to see here this game, Capedogs Unleashed has the right mindset of a proactive team that engages super hard and abuses the 4 versus 4 when they have that split pusher and that strong champion towards top lane. Pick towards that. Make sure you have an engaged support. Make sure you have someone who can follow up on that in mid lane. Play scrappy. Don't let yourself sit on these picks that are, so dependent on the enemy team running at them, because that's Winterfresh's game plan. He wants you to just sit back and let him split push and abuse your top laner. Make sure you have something that can punish that. And I think that they're really looking to turn things around here in draft phase.
Yeah, we definitely have to see how that's going to work out. Once again, we're going to see Capedogs get rid of both the Jax and the Wukong. Kind of reactionary a little bit out of the two champs. Okay, well, he went crazy on this pick. Let's get that's out of the way now. He went crazy on this pick. Let's get that one out of the way again. They do allow that Senna to come through. That was the pick. That was the ban that was in the first 2 games. Now we're looking at Tonic on this Senna. We may be looking at a Senna Cho lane very, very soon.
Yeah, this is something that was actually banned out, and now this is what has finally been allowed to leak through the champions and picks and bans here for the side of Zenigma. Looking forward to see what the Senna can do, as it was something that Capedogs Unleashed was definitely not wanting to see here in their games.
Yeah, you have ultra scaling for a team that's been going absolutely nutty on you. And when you get kills, you get souls, and Zenigma don't have no problem getting kills and racking up potential souls for Audacious, or excuse me, for Tonic. So it's going to be a very, very tough matchup. Now with Tristana on the board, potentially for Audacious, this could be an answer to try to get some pressure onto this lane. But either way you split it, I have to see it first. I need to see it to believe it. And the numbers so far are very heavily in Tonic and Fifi's favor.
Yeah, right here, when I see the Galio getting picked up, what I want to see is something that can just say, we're fighting right now and get in the middle of a team. Galio's great at following up with champions like that, with the Hero's Justice, as well as the Sun to follow that up. But I'm a little scared, honestly. I'm not sure if they are confident in these picks that kind of play for that engage. With Cho'Gath and Udyr getting locked in here for the side of Zenigma, you have to be thinking, like, what is the correct answer to this team that's setting up to farm and really just sit far back, make sure that they can grab all the scaling they want in the game and play for all these objectives.
Well, one way to make sure that they can't farm and just sit back is to zoom right into them with the Rammus. Now, Palletcraft did pick up, I believe, a win I think it was yesterday in a rescheduled game on this Rammus. So we'll have to see how that works for him. Now, there is a lot of we're seeing a comp that wants to move forward. Like you said, be a little bit more aggressive. Tristana, Galio, Rammus. We all want to get into that composition of Zenigma. Now, when you got a Cho'Gath and an Udyr looking you in the face, that's not the most fun plan of action for CDU. We could be looking at a clash where these two comps are just both hard engaged compositions that want to get in and fight really hard. That could be the case, as we do see the Malphite get banned away here from Days. This is just Enigma saying, once again, we're not letting you play this game.
Yeah, but this will now be 4 bans probably going towards top side. Fiora as well being locked in here as a ban for the side of CDU, really trying to deny as many split pushes as they can. Again, the Cho'Gath could as well get flex for his top lane, but not really in the style of Winterfresh. He wants to find a split pusher, so I'm very curious to see what he'll pull out here. He's got another sneaky pocket pick he can really abuse that top lane matchup with.
Well, if we do see this Cho'Gath go mid, we're going to see our first Cho'Gath mid win here. Now, potentially Silas Hover, a Silas lock-in. Will we see Daze go for his redemption arc here and try to take this champion in the top lane once more? Keep in mind that this Cho'Gath, look, for Zenigma, we do know that Winterfresh loves his split pushers. This is most likely going to be a Fifi pick. It's going to be Senna Cho'Gath in the bot lane. But keep in mind that this still could be flexed to that top lane. This still could be the pick into this Silas, and things could happen very, very strongly for this Enigma team here. But with Azir locked in, once again, we're seeing a very strong scaling pick that does magic damage for this Enigma team. Their comp is looking nigh untouchable at this point.
Yeah, that's another very scary long range hyper scaling 2 carry comp, and the set to follow it up Gonna be so good here into the tanks that are be running at them. I love these pickups for Zen. This is exactly the kind of comp you're running into something like this. Still a little curious. There are a couple flex picks on the table currently, so we have to wait until Champions Select rolls around to really see where these picks are going. And again, Silas, Galio. I'm assuming it's going to be Galio support here, but we've seen some crazier things in the past.
We do have a Galio, an AP Galio mid one trick in the league here. And he was going crazy in one of our matchups. Now we do see the Ashe locked in. This is going to be the bot lane Ashe for our guy Yodacious, which means it's going to be serious for Y going for the Tristana in the mid lane, and it's going to be Galio support. This semi answers the 2 carry kind of situation that we see Zenigma rolling out with the Senna and the Azir. Not quite in the same fashion with the Ashe. You know how I feel about utility AD carries. Not really a big fan of it. I have seen Ashes go crazy, but you do have to usually dump a lot of resources into that lane to make things happen, and we haven't really seen Palicraft really give his bot lane attention in this series so far. So it would take, one, a switch up in how he plays the game, and 2, Ashe actually doing something in this game. We'll see how strong Yodacious can play this champion. It is one of his most played in solo queue.
I do want to point one other thing out. This is an Ashe into 3 melees with no gap closers. Cho'Gath, just kind of forced to walk at you. Udi are forced to walk at you. Set has the ultimate, but once he's in, he doesn't really have any other options. So this Ashe is actually, I think, a really good pickup here into the triple melee, no gap closer. They could really just play these team fights front to back with the Tristana and with the Ashe just constantly focusing down whatever's running at them and never letting it get close to them. What they're gonna have to watch out for here in that case is the Azir. If we can get a couple more of those crazy stream of shuffles like we saw in the first game, it's gonna be all over. The Ashe has no way out. Galio, Ramus, Silas don't really have ways to get around or over that wall. So really gonna have to be careful, mindful of your positioning, and making sure you're not getting swept up by the sands of Shurima here.
Yeah, you make a really good point with the Ashe, but I have, not really seen Yodacious look as strong in lane as he has in the previous games. So with the Ashe getting stronger, or with the Ashe having a lot of these slows, that's fine. But if you're not actually if you don't actually have the right kill pressure, you're slowing them down. They're still walking toward you though. I mean, you have an Udi or Cho'Gath walking toward you, even a Set. They're still walking toward you. They can still have a good enough front line for this Senna, for this Azir over the top. And once they do reach you, it's going to be a problem. Yes, you do have the Galio with the taunt. That's going to be very great to even further get them in a position that puts them vulnerable. But with the kind of damage output that Senna and Azir are going to be putting into you mid to late game, it can still give you reason to fear, some cause to pause for Capedogs Unleashed. And when you take into account just how strong Zenigma Eclipse's macro has been, and just how questionable Capedogs' macro has been, and questionable is the most respectful way of putting it, it does still, it's a bigger insurance plan, but it's not a very good insurance policy.
Yeah, I'm really looking to see some more proactive play here from Polycraft in the early game. Trundle not very conducive to looking towards that, and with the Ashe bot lane into a matchup where they can't dash away from her slows, I really want to see him try and set her up this round, as well as that Azir in mid lane. So maybe we'll see some more plays towards this bottom side rather than towards that top side this game. Really looking for days to play weak side once again. I know I'm starting to feel bad for the guy who's getting beat up here in the top lane a little bit by Winterfresh so far. But, if you can play towards your team and allow that Ramus to enable the rest of your carries on your squad, and that's really what they're looking for here, is enable the Tristana and Ashe, let them do the damage this game. You might have a team comp that can just absolutely run over this triple melee here from Zenigma.
Yep, definitely agree here. But if it's my money on the line, and it will be, I know you don't have too many points here at Excellency, but I'm going to go ahead and go all in and ruin everyone's predictions on Zenigma Eclipse. Wait, I have way too much points. I'm putting, I guess, 21K on Zenigma.
Nice.
If Capedogs does win this game and someone bets on them, they're making a lot of coin. This is a good chance to get your Excellency coins up if you do want to bet on Capedogs here.
Well, I don't have many coins, but I might have to go in here for Capedogs. I want to have faith in this Ashe. You've talked about how much Yodacious is considered one of the best ADCs in the league right now. I want to see him live up to those expectations and those statistics. This is the match to do it. This is the match where you could just really pump up those damage numbers. not allowing that team to come anywhere near you, and just completely stopping this kind of slower team comp in its tracks. But again, it's going to come down to, can they enable this bot lane? And please, I want to see some action bot lane. Let's see some junglers gank these guys down here, really shake things up on them.
Yep, that'll be the game plan. Hopefully, I mean, we haven't seen it too often, but yeah, we'll hopefully we'll see this. And this is two comps that scale very well. Obviously, Zenigma scales even harder, but maybe we'll see. For me, I just want to see cleaner macro from Capedogs. We have seen them improve over the past couple of weeks. I want to see them actually show it to us. Show us on stream, show us on air that you have improved the way your record has shown you to. Now, they had a couple of weeks they couldn't buy a win. So I want to see them not go down 0-3 in this matchup. You're on stream. Let's show people at home a little something and show us why your nation is so strong. Show us why Paladcraft is rated so highly with his KP. Show us that you can just take one game off this Zenigma Eclipse team and just don't go out 0-3. And if you have to go out 0-3, make it a little bit more of a contentious game than our previous two.
Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the junglers here in this matchup. Something I just kind of came to my mind is that the Udyr here in this matchup is the person who can solo the Drake pretty easily. And so if his bot lane is pushed, he's just going to kind of end up going for that. And it's Rammus who actually has to act towards his bot side and really rely on the damage from either his mid or his ADC to look towards getting a dragon for his own team. So I really think this is the game where we do see Paladcraft play towards bot side. I want to have faith in them. I want to have faith in the Ashe, the gank setups. And all we're looking towards now is for Daze to play up in this top lane and survive here in lane against Winterfresh.
Survival is going to be the only thing on Daze's mind. Look, not the most successful of plans so far, but hopefully into this set he can survive. Maybe we'll see Paladcraft go to his bot lane. He'll have to show me for me to believe it. But for right now, that's all we got for you. I'm my eyes once more are clearly and solidly set on these bot lanes.
And another matchup that we haven't quite highlighted just yet is going to be this Azir versus Tristana. In the first matchup, we had the Azir into the Cho'Gath, and Sirius for Y absolutely dominated the laning phase, but was unable to really secure a lead that he could snowball with to help out the rest of his team. And it was the Azir that was able to find the crazy streaming shuffles. Warboss just went crazy, I think, in 3 back-to-back team fights, finding so many members and forcing them up towards the front line of Zenigma. So really looking for that matchup again. Can Sirius for Y find the kills or find just some pressure here in mid lane and really secure a lead here in the early game with that lane bully like Tristana can be?
Yep, that's gonna be I think it for us for this. One last point. Warboss will look good here. I think Sirius for Y. His biggest problem has been macro, being at team fights, being on the map for his team at all. But I think we're gonna go ahead and get into a quick break here before we get into the game. This is a quick little break for you guys to see and hear a little bit about our coffee sponsor, AM Grind, which you can find a little bit more out about with using the command in the chat there. I know someone in the chat will be able to get that out there for you. So we'll be on just another minute here, getting on to the Rift very, very soon.
They did.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Excellency Light League. If you're just joining us, we're bringing you the series here between Zenigma Eclipse versus Capedogs Unleashed. These last two games have been absolutely abysmal for Capedogs, a team that has seen such success in these last couple weeks here at Excellency is just facing utter and shameless defeat into Zenigma Eclipse, who've taken both of the two off the backs of major carries like Zen Jaredon, Winterfresh, and War Boss Justin. I am your play caster, Zephyr, joined by the lovely color, Dunzy.
Thank you, Zephyr, for that amazing introduction once again.
Oh, wait,
we see Audacious here. Oh my god! Audacious is caught out!
Found immediately. They're going to be flashing off of that one, as well as, hey, it's Talon over on the side. So two major flashes picked out immediately here for the side of Capedogs. And man, that just does not bode well for this team.
Your career is over. Audacious,
don't acknowledge it.
Audacious stepping a little bit too far forward there, and we thought that it was going to be set support, but instead you heard the call out there. It's Fifi on Cho'Gath support with teleport, a unique style that Zenigma likes to run. Senna has been banned in this series, but they left it open this time. Capedogs decided we need to target Winterfresh. He's been a massive carry. We got to help Daze out. He's having a little bit of trouble up here. So they leave the rest of what Zenigma likes to play comfortably open, and this is what you get. You see the Senna Cho'Gath come out. I'm excited for it.
We'll have to see if it works here. Zenigma have shown us time and time again into this series that they're willing to switch it up. Now, granted, we see War Boss Justin back onto the Nazir, which looked super good in game one, and Zen Jaredon has made a return towards the Udyr, but Senna Cho, now that is a comp that I have not seen run, and I almost feel like we're seeing the metal and the heat checks come out here. Ooh, hey, it's Talon, gets that knock up. The stun comes through there. Reminder, he doesn't have flash, but he's still able to just walk out.
And Zen Jaredon wanted to take advantage of that, knew that the bot lane didn't have flash. Instead, wasn't able to get much off that gank, just a little bit of pressure maybe, and you see immediately Pallycraft wants to go for the cross-map play. Will Zen Jaredon make it in time? He decided to forego his golems so that he could go and combat this blue buff steal from Pallycraft. He missed the blast cone! Rammus missed the blast cone. He's gonna get caught out here in the jungle.
He might, he may not. He's fast enough to get a schmoovin, so he definitely makes his way back over, but not at the behest of himself. Either way, here, it's a good start for Zenigma. We did notice that the play came through from Zen Jaredon, tried to work with the expended flashes, but it didn't quite come to full fruition here. So now we're going to wait and see where he ends up next. Daze, though, Winterfresh in the top lane taking an aggressive trade both into one another. Winterfresh has been finding major success all series long into Daze, and we really haven't seen much leeway go his way. I mean, absolutely bullying this man.
Yeah, and even on the set, once again with a level and prio advantage, I just want to refresh here. Pally missing that blast cone is so bad because he loses the tempo advantage that he had early, and now you see a 2v2.
2v2 maybe, not quite though. Doesn't quite find the stun or the collapse where they need to, so they both kind of just eat back towards safety.
Yeah, he had double the CS early of Jaredon, and instead he's going to get double scuttled now because of that mishap. Looking for a gank though.
Tries to find Swaver, starts with the taunt, not quite the knock up there, and it's not enough to really set up Daze into a successful chain to find a kill onto Winterfresh. So once again, a lot of presence here with nothing to be found for Capedogs.
I guarantee that Winterfresh, I mean, I see that he is running the Resolve tree as well, so I guarantee he has double tenacity runes. You saw how short that taunt lasted. Even Capedogs realized, oh my goodness, that CC didn't last at all. Winterfresh not going to be CC'd very long. He saw Silas's chains, the taunt. He sees the Ash Arrow and the Galio taunt as well, and it's just, he says, no, I'm not going to be CC'd, man. I'm just going to play my game. Guaranteed Merc Trex possibly as well into the Silas lane. He's never going to be stopped.
Now into the bot lane, Zenigma making return, flashes forward, gets the stun off, taunted back by Talon, but a good knockup from Fifi steps it up. Sadly, doesn't quite find the kill, and it's going to be the last auto from Tonic, but the return is enough here as Series for Y and Hey It's Talon turn this one back, and Zenigma is also taken through here. More than likely, he's able to run it with the bear stance, but those wins do manage to catch him. So it is the 3 kills in the bot here for the side of Capedogs. So finally, a return for Cape.
Yeah, they give up first blood here. And, I mean, Warboss Justin might be in trouble as well.
He's taunted out, stunned back. He does have Emperor's Divide, so I don't think there's any further statement that can be made.
Yeah, love the TP there from Sirius for Y, though. Immediate response. They saw Udyr flash in, and that, I mean, even though they gave up first blood, really, really nice turnaround.
Absolutely. So now Capedogs in a good spot for themselves. Sadly, 2 of those kills landed onto Hey It's Talon. Not quite where you want to gold, especially after Yodashis dies in that one, but still, Series for Y in a good spot to play with this Tristana. Let's see if he can foster that lead even further. Last time around on Tonic, the Tristana looked absolutely indestructible. Maybe the plate has turned.
Yeah, and you can tell, I mean, Tristana hasn't based yet, so she is in a little bit of an item disadvantage, but Zen is gonna get caught out.
Taunt through Zenigma. There's not much hope for this man. The bomb ticks out, and it's not even going to be the bear stance that saves him. So Series for Y taking good advantage of that kill and now pushing forward. I like to see it.
Yeah, Capedogs, this early game has finally been so clean for them. Pallycraft had massive impact in game 1. He was all over the map. We'll look at him now again, making plays.
Days here for once actually able to fight back against Winterfresh, but it's going to be that good haymaker that prevents anything further. But Pallycraft coming in for a gank, knock up onto Fifi, taunt as well. He tries to get a stun up on Pally, but it doesn't matter. Yodashis finds a response onto the kill there. Top side though, showstopper from Winterfresh finds a response onto Day, so 1 for 1.
Yeah, Set slamming him into the ground. He picked him up off of his abscond, excuse me, and was able to secure that kill. Nice. Again, another solo kill in the top lane for Winterfresh.
Speaking of that solo kill, let's take a look at how it came to be after what was that bot lane fight.
Yeah, I mean, here it is. The biggest thing is that Daze had already used his level 6 hijack previously in an earlier fight, which Winterfresh already thwarted away. And he says, okay, wait, I have the ultimate advantage now. I will show you my showstopper, the original showstopper. It cannot be beat. Give me another solo kill.
It's funny because I could have sworn we saw it play out that way, and it's a bit of shame Daze couldn't find the success. But Winterfresh once again proving that he is the one to beat here on the top side in this series as a whole. Even if the rest of his laners aren't finding marginal success, he is. So good on him. You know what? That's what I'll have to say there. Good on him.
Yeah, he's just thoroughly impressed game after game. I mean, he is sticking around. He's making sure that he's able to last. Unlike your deep voice, Winterfresh can always be counted upon.
Dunzy, you... Anyways. Personally, I don't know if the set success is going to be enough to kind of sway the medal here for Zenigma. They're actually at the first deficit that we have seen since what was the first 5 to 6 minutes of game 1. Now, the gold's where you want it on Series for Y, and Yodashis did pick up the 1 additional kill on his belt, but we need to see it a bit further. There's still a lot of scaling potential available here for Zenigma.
Yeah, I mean, the fasting Senna is going to be able to scale so well into the late game. He has the sickle for additional support gold, plus he's going the 80 carry build. You see already the Noon Quiver coming out for him. He'll be going Kraken, he'll be going Ginsu's with his augmented auto attacks on top of that. I'm excited to see Tonic on this carry.
Yeah, I am as well. On the what was Tristana last game, this guy absolutely ran it down time and time again. Didn't matter what CC you threw at him, he made it happen. And earlier into this game, he went full deep under turret to secure the kill onto Yodashis, so he's not one to shy away from a good fight or two.
Oh, certainly, yeah. And meanwhile, Fifi is just able to pick up so much gold as the farming support here. Cho'Gath already with the Bobby Cinders in. But we got to give credit to Yodacious and Hayes Talon for having a lead right now, but a TP flank.
Big TP. Fifi gets the double knock-up. Winterfresh coming in here. Good root. Enchanted Crystal Arrow into what is a knock-up from the heroic entrance. Back in, Pallycraft goes, but it's a good Dawning Shadow that shuts down Hayes Talon. Now Pallycraft is forced to flash a Series for Y, looking probably for the next leap. Rooted out, the knock-up comes through from Fifi, and it is the flash that secures him to safety. But still, Zenigma finds the one kill when they need it. It is into the hands of Tonic off the Dawning.
Yeah, Winterfresh, amazing TP flank, but it was all set up by Fifi's Rupture. They played that so well. Nice job by Zenigma to take something back, knowing that Daze's TP was down.
Speaking of TPs being down, let's see how that teleport made its impact more appropriately here as we take a look at that replay.
I mean, you can see the flash rupture from Fifi started it all off, and once again, the tenacity of Winterfresh allows him to stay in the back line of Capedogs. They're playing this really, really well front to back style on the side of Zenigma. You can see that Tonic maintains his space. He's able to support Winterfresh, but a Buster Shot makes sure that Capedogs minimizes the damage, and they're able to survive that. But here comes a TP to the top lane.
TP coming in here with Rift down as well to respond to its presence. Can they make it happen? Not quite. The gold is still achieved here for Winterfresh and Zenigma. Not a crazy amount, but enough.
Yeah, interesting decision by Series for Y. He was going to support his top laner, but that turret was never in danger of falling, and I don't think Daze was in danger of a dive either, so questionable decision there, but a 2v2 is ensuing.
2v2, like you said, good taunt off of that Enchanted Crystal Arrow. It's down, manages to pick it up with the slam off his passive right on the edge of the flash there from Tonic. So a bit of a flash and die scenario this time, Dunsey.
That's right. Tonic, unfortunately, at the last second. But yeah, I mean, here's more fighting, Zephyr.
Oh, here's more fighting. Taunt out. Just start the stun. Pally under turret. It doesn't even matter. The Yodacious on the side is just absolutely obliterating. And Zenigma comes in with the response under turret to get that stun off and just obliterate Pallycraft. What an absolutely absurd trade. 1-for-1 off into that bot lane.
All right, Zephyr.
What's up, man?
Oh my good. No, nothing. So we have Pallycraft, who did trade his life there. I wanted to commemorate. Oh wow, Warboss Justin a little bit frisky there.
Ooh, speaking of getting frisky, those chains wrapping around Winterfresh. Haymaker comes out, but it's not enough. Showstopper onto Showstopper. Daze still finds the kill. Now Series for Y in the mid lane with the bomb. Can't quite leap, and it's gonna be a major steal as Pallycraft comes in with the soaring strike. Dawning Shadow isn't able to secure the successful escape there from Zenigma, so it's 2 kills into the pocket of Capedogs on top of the drag.
Pallycraft is a hero. Capedogs just have such a knack for taking away Zenigma's objectives. Another steal here for Capedogs.
Speaking of that steal, let's take a look and see how that sword came to be.
Yeah, the Rammus here is level 8. He has the smites are the same at this point. He's just gonna be flying in. Oh, a little drive-by, and it's mine. Sorry, guys. And I love it. They support him with the Galio ultimate as well, and they all are able to get out safely. Great team play from Capedogs so far.
I'm gonna be honest, we gotta check Capedogs PayPal after this game, because personally, this is the Capedogs we know. This is the comp that plays around aggressive leads or hard engages from Pallycraft and then getting people like Series for Y and Yodacious ahead into a position where they are major carries for this squad. And honestly, there's got to be something behind the scenes, because I just can't attest to those first 2 games here.
Yeah, and the other thing is Winterfresh has tried to take his lead across the map, but what it's done is it's given Daze a 2-level advantage in the top lane, and so you see him with the Everfrost completed. He's able to bully, maybe not bully, but at least hold his own now with 2 levels, a CS lead, and some prio in the top lane.
So now back into it. Days definitely looking better. Like you said, the big man over on the top side. Response coming through, though, from Zenigma soon here off of this back end with the bear stance to start off with a steal. Good root off of what is the Everfrost. Flash does have to come out, though.
Wait.
Days goes back in, gets a good chunk of healing off. He still has the soaring stance. And now it's Palicraft arriving to take the metal. Come through Winterfresh with the chain. Zenigma now the only one left through off the back end here. Goes in with the stun. I don't know why he's running back into this, because the leap comes through and Pally picks up the kill. But now in the bot lane, Tonic and Fifi looking worse for wear as Audacious gets the response, and Days tries to heal off the minion wave, and he dies. Should have been just a clean 3 for 0, but a bit of a shame on the last bit there.
Did he DC? What happened? I mean, Capedogs, I'm not going to take anything away from Capedogs. Across the map, they've showed up. I put in Twitch chat, it's going to be a 3-0, but right now, they're looking so good. Oh, wow, nice flash.
Absolutely divine adjustment there from the pushback from more bosses. Sears for Y just kind of shows up. Just kind of shows up.
Yeah, I mean, I loved that flash because he interrupted the dash from Warboss Justin and was able to secure that kill because of it.
Well, speaking of securing kills, let's look at the absolutely dominating force in the side of what is the blue minion wave.
Yeah, nope, he wasn't DC'd. He just, there he goes.
Here at Excellency, we're as BM as we can get.
No, you're right. I won't say anything. I don't know what to say about that. Days, I do think he might be tilted tonight. Like, even though he's playing this game so much better, where is his headspace at that he would allow the minion wave to take him out like that?
Shut up, Dutson.
I'm serious. You have this lead. You have built a 2-level lead in the top lane, and he baited that fight so well. But here he comes, 2v1.
Maybe he can make something up for himself. The Everfrost does enough to dissuade any further gank onto this man, but past that, not much to be found here for Capedogs. Off of anything there.
That was a nice defense as well, but he baited that previous 2v2 out really, really well. He knew Pally was coming up to support him, and I thought that chain originally going back in was a little bit troll, but I was proved wrong. He actually found enough time and space for Pally to commit, and they found those 2 kills in the top lane. So the beginning and the creation of that fight was really well done.
Speaking of committing here, you see Capedogs try to commit to this mid lane, but a rotation from Zenigma and Winterfresh being on the side, while they didn't get to see him, it definitely was about to dissuade any further presence here. So just across the board, pulling it to a little bit of a lull. I like the respect here from Zenigma. They don't want to lose any further pressure that they still have on their belt. They need to scale up. They need to find a presence in Warboss Justin. They need to give that scaling Feasting Senna time to readjust back into it. But at the expense of all of this, they're going to lose on to Soul Point now.
Yeah, and at this point, you have double 80 carries with Kraken and a really, really, really beefy front line. Both Galio and Rammus, even though you don't really want them to have kills, have found combined 5 kills this game so far, and it's allowed them to finish 2 tank items early, plus a Bramble Vest on each of them. And I think that having that front line for your 280 carries, who are also, mind you, pretty fed,
right.
It's the composition from Capedogs is going to be so hard to break through for Zenigma. This is now Capedogs showing up.
Polycraft going in pretty hard here, deep onto Fifi and Tonic to start things off. There's no real follow-up. The man just wanted to really just go as for what you usually call it, a heat check. Now Tonic gonna be stunned out by that enchanted crystal arrow, and he is killed at the very last moment by the leap through from Series for Y. Both 80 carries taking 2 kills for each of themselves.
Yeah, they're feeling it. Capedogs are finally the ones who are able to take these fights aggressively and pay off with those little skirmish wins.
Well, let's take a look at that aggressive skirmish that they've been waiting all series long to pull off.
Yeah, you can see just on the vision here that Series for Y is waiting in the wings until that CC lands. Tonic had just had no chance. He tried to flash out, but it's too quick. The damage is coming out too fast. And playing with vision is Capedogs now. Just like in game 1, they showed some promise doing this. Pallycraft hiding in the bushes. Now it's serious for Y being able to sneak into that mid lane side brush and take advantage of it.
Well, it definitely paid off, and I like the schmoves here from Capedogs. It's been a while since we've seen them play out the way they have been, and personally, I don't think Zenigma is doing anything wrong. I just don't think they have the presence to step up and be as defensive as they would probably like. We look back at their first and second game, and you talk about some of the things like defensive warding or just presence even in their own jungle. It's not there this game.
Yeah, and I do want to touch on the comp as well, because we kind of praised this idea of a Cho'Gath doing so much damage, but I think Daze is in trouble.
Daze might be. Zen is fast. He's able to get the slowing smite onto him at the end. Throws the rejected onto the hijack there. Haymaker just barely misses out, but the showstop comes through in the end before Pallycraft really is able to get his medal in there now. Now, like you said, Yodacious coming through with a good heroic entrance from Hay for its Talon. Zen taken out. Now Winterfresh taunted back is going to go down as well. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Serious for Y was able to pick up the one kill here onto World Boss Justin. We didn't quite pick that one up. Maybe we'll be able to get a replay of that. But with all this pressure, it allows them to go straight for Baron.
Capedogs just completely taking over the map in every single lane. I'm thinking of, this Cho'Gath pick that they have in the support role. If this was a Tom Kench into all the CC that Capedogs have, it would have been so much better. Tonic would have lived about 2 to 3 more times with the Devourer, but instead, he's getting picked off over and over by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow.
Well, speaking of that Crystal Arrow, let's take a look at Yodacious's presence into this top lane after an incredible solo kill.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that Daze is able to stall the team fight so long. He goes golden here at the perfect second before the Haymaker. And look, Pally's flying in. Take a look at the minimap. You see Yodacious making his way up. Even though Daze falls, he was a certain death, right? He allows his team to find enough time to clean up both kills and eventually turn that into the Baron. Well played by Daze, stalling, playing for his team.
I like the schmoves there from Daze, able to stem that one out, but more importantly, I like Pallycraft coming in with the speed of 1,000 gods to make sure his teammates are able to actually survive. So seeing a lot more presence from him this time around. Now with that Baron buff on their belt, they're going to continue their presence, push out mid lane, and that Enchanted Crystal Arrow you bring up, it's enough to secure the kill here on Titanic. Over on the side though, Fifi stunned out with that taunt. Daze stepping up. He's able to get the hijack steal here onto what is the Emperor's Divide. We'll see how and where he uses that one as these waves continue to push in.
Yeah, and the composition that Capedogs have is just so throttling. They have so much CC.
Pally just goes in and then the team arrives. Double Emperor's Divide here, but it's enough as we see a full frontal tanking from Hayes for Talon under the turret. Gives plenty of time for Yodacious to step in this backline and just line up every single part of that Ranger's focus. Now Winterfresh looking lower and lower, taunted by Pallycraft. Haymaker keeps him alive. Barely takes out Pally, but it's enough to put him back towards the base. Not enough to save the inhib though.
Yeah, Capedogs just so confident right now. They know they have a massive gold lead. They're taking down 2 inhibitors, and now they're going for Soul.
Let's take a look at the aggressive schmoves here from Pally as he went in when no one else would.
Yeah, Tonic getting picked off here is just so massive, but the next fight after this that follows is what really, really sets the tone for Capedogs. They have a 3 versus 4 at this point. So the whole idea that Zenigma would even want to take this fight is kind of baffling. You're already behind. Look at the numbers. They're just flying in. And check out this Galio time. Boom. On 3 members. He even caught Warboss on the way in. Just that layered CC does so much for Capedogs. The composition they've drafted allows them to be able to take these diving fights when they have the numbers available. And now they're even tankier with Mountain Soul.
Yep, able to secure that one off of a great mid presence that they showed up with. And At this point, Dunzy, there's not a whole lot that Zenigma can do to really prevent the pressure here. You've got a strong front in Hey, it's Talon, as well as Palicraft with Yodacious and Serious Rai, both with a heavy presence on these double 80 carries. And all the while, you got to worry about what you throw at you, or my apologies, what you throw at them coming right back at you, with that hijack always being available in presence.
Yeah, Yodacious with that bodacious bot on Ash, man, is just popping off. Look at that 10-1, the 80 carries of Capedogs. Both have a 700 and a 650 gold bounty on their heads. They have showed up, but it's off the back. Once again, it's so odd, right? That the Jin Zhao pressure that Pally had is almost matched by the Rammus pressure that he had. He is just everywhere, ganking every lane. They took care of Daze this game, and the rest of Capedogs were able to pull through. Now they're marching down the last turret of the base still standing.
Right. They don't have the Baron buff, so they're going to have to deal with these waves getting crushed apart, but the double inhib on top side is going to continue pulling pressure here away from bot, which will eventually give them time to actually collapse here. So Pally just goes in. He's going to stem the mini wave. He's going to start it off with himself, but Daze in the back line, chain off that Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Dawning Shadow not going to do enough. Serious Rai with the double leap into that soaring from the Rammus. The rest of the team obliterated from this back line. Serious Rai on one side, Yodacious on the other, all 5 members deleted. Either way, Zenigma, Eclipse, even with their success in the last 2 games, cannot fight their way into the revitalized Capedogs Unleashed.
And they are so scrappy, coming back from a 2-0 deficit to be able to actually show up in this game 3, pick up a win for themselves, and make it a decent night for Capedogs. 2-1, they turn the series around. They go out of the night with a win.
And that's why we run these in a block 3 format. We give these teams all of the chance to really come back into it at any given point, even if it's within that 3rd and final game. So Capedogs, they might not have found the full success they wanted, but they're able to pack it up, like you said, and bring it to some sort of fruition. As for us, though, we're going to take a second to decide who we might be polling towards the desk tonight for an interview, as we then throw this back to the analysts here between Shells and Sulpin to give us their take.
Thank you once again, Zephyr, and what a game it was. This is exactly what we wanted to see from Capedogs Unleashed. They had the right champions to really play that scrappy and aggressive style, and we didn't have the goofy macro mistakes we had from earlier either there, with the TP early from that Tristana, Serious for Y, finding a nice play there towards bot lane, and then just snowballing the entire map into a victory.
Yeah, for me, Serious for Y is where I want to focus on. He was actually given a champion that fits his champ pool, fits his play style, got a Tristana, got a champ that wants to go in, wants to fight, and can put in giga damage. We saw him play extraordinarily well in this game. I mean, this was a huge departure from what we were seeing from him in games 1 and 2. Like you mentioned, the first good TP of this entire 3-game block from Serious for Y came in this game, able to make things happen in the bot lane. Absolutely had his way with the mid lane here, going up against the Azir. We saw that War Boss Justin was never able to scale, and in part that was because of just how strong Serious for Y played this mid lane matchup.
And also, they were unable to completely stop that dragon snowball that they were setting up. They had a great dragon setup, had 3 members on it, and it just came down to an insane steal from Palicraft to make sure that they couldn't put any kind of stopper on them getting that Earth Soul.
Yeah, I mean, the whole bot lane pressure from Capedogs Unleashed was like their name says. They were actually unleashed in this game. I know what I said about Ashe, and I stand by it. I do not like utility 80 carries. Don't like them at all. But Yodacious and Talon showed why they are considered some of the best players in this league. We saw Yodacious getting kill after kill after kill. Some of them because of the slows from the W, some because of the setup from his own Enchanted Crystal Arrow. But we saw some very great taunt plays from Talon on this Galio that helped set up that chain CC locking down targets not only in the bot lane but also in the mid lane as well. They were just able to get significant pressure in the bot lane, turn it into dragons, and they were just stacking dragons just about for free. And the crazy steal off the Rammus ult, I think it was at 850 HP, so just about at that max health of that 900 smite. Look, this was Capedogs proving that they still have the memory of what they were doing when they were coming back from those kind of bad first couple series. They were showing they could be a mid-tier team in the light league. First 2 games didn't show it. This 3rd game, they actually turned it on, and across the rift, they looked way, way, way better than we saw them in the first 2 games.
Keep in mind, they started from a pretty big deficit here. An early game invade from the side of Zenigma Eclipse found 2 flashes off the bot lane. Udyr looked for that to abuse those early with a level 2 gank. Didn't end up finding anything, but that's a ton of pressure towards that bot lane. So huge props to the bot lane of Capedogs Unleashed for managing to make a comeback despite the early pressure and not having summoner spells. And then also a shout out to, on the other side of the map, it was Winterfresh. I know he ended on the losing team this time, but his pressure in top lane stopped that Rammus from being able to steal away that blue buff. And then also a slight Blastcon mishap. If you go back and watch it, I think he actually ended up missing that just barely whenever the wrong side of the wall, unfortunately, on that one. But ultimately, I think it was also came down to the pressure that he was able to exude on that top lane. So Winterfresh, some great plays up there, holding down top lane, and ultimately not going to be enough to be able to bring his team to victory, but overall some really good plays.
Yeah, overall some pretty good plays there from Winterfresh, but it was Daze this time who did get the better of him in this matchup here. So just once more, we're going to say congratulations to both Zenigma and Capedogs. Zenigma for the first 2 games looking absolutely dominant, but Capedogs game 3 saying no, we're not going to get stomped 3 games in a row. It's not going to happen this time. We're going to go out here in Light League on stream. Capedogs Unleashed. You may have lost me 21,000 channel points, but you did gain your pride back, did get your face back in this matchup. So congrats to you guys for showing up in game 3.
I will be jumping on into an interview here, so thanks for staying tuned. This has been Capedogs Unleashed versus Zenigma Eclipse. Stay tuned, and we'll see you guys next week.